everybody, it's me again, signing into the, it's Sarah, signing into the, Random Pinata Report. We get a new backdrop this time. Sorry, I'm on my knees. I don't know, I thought I'd give a nice little change of pace. This is a little bit more of my room. You can see my Naruto calendar. Yeah, and that's my dresser, and then my bed's like right here. My bed's right behind you. Hi, happy Saturday. Ooh, it's Saturday. Okay, I wanna talk about something real quick before. Oh, I can see now. Before I start with what I was gonna talk about, if you've been watching the news for the past week, you may have noticed that there have been some really bad fires in Southern California. And I live in Southern California. Mostly in like San Diego and Malibu. Really, really big fires. There's like 15 individual fires, forest fires or brush fires, and it was nuts. It was crazy. There was fire and lots of people lost their houses, and it was awful. And then there was one in like Big Bear in this small town in the mountains called Running Springs. And it was nuts. And lots of people lost their houses, and it was just awful. And I feel really bad for the people who really lost their houses. But, so I live in like a valley, and it's like right in the middle of everything. And I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine. All we got was mostly just smoke, and it was, yeah, I'm okay. I'm not dead, so if you cared and were wondering, I'm okay. And I was just been worrying about a lot of people and their houses and stuff, so I'm glad they're okay. And like last year, like 4 years ago, in like 2003, I was in, I want to say, 7th grade? And there was this really ginormous fire behind my house, and the whole entire mountain was on fire, and it was crazy. And I remember that you could just, like, see it when it, like, glowed at night. And it was just really, really scary. And then during the day, the sun got eclipsed, and it snowed ashes, and it was like Silent Hill, and it was freakish, and it was scary, and I didn't like it. And thankfully this time we avoided that. So the fires are pretty much under control to my knowledge, and that's awesome. Okay. Yeah, on a lighter note, no, I'm not wearing a hat. I didn't feel like wearing something on my head today. I'm wearing the top half of my Battle Royale costume. And speaking of Battle Royale, I'm going to talk about it today. Yeah. Book. What a book. I've only read the book because I tried to watch the movie and I like kind of, it's awful. It's awful. It's great. It's gory and unnecessarily gory, but I tried and it was just too crazy. It was just nuts. Yeah, the book. It's so great. I finished it. I actually started it in August. I started in August, and I was actually really surprised when I found it because I thought I was gonna have to order it, and there was 2 of them, and I was like jumping around, freaking out in like Borders, and everybody's like, "What is she freaking out about? It's a book," and I'm like, "It's bad." So I went through it in about 2 weeks because I'm lazy and. Yeah, I'm lazy, and it was just like, oh, it was nuts. One word of advice: don't eat ravioli when you're reading it. I made the really bad mistake of doing that. It makes the book more real than it should be. I mean, like dropping it and you like flinch, you're like, oh crap, there's blood. No, it's not. But yeah, and I finished it like, I'm sitting on my feet. I finished it the first 2 days of school, which was the end of last week of August, and Well, mainly because they screwed up my schedule, and I didn't have a third period for like 4 days, and I spent like 2 freaking days in the gym doing nothing. So I read this, and then another day and a half in the career center, waiting for them to give me a math class, and I did. So I have my math class, and I'm passing. Yay! Senior year, wee, 1 semester in math, because I failed. And then you don't care about that. Anyway, I read this, and I'm like freaking out in class. I'm like, ew. Here, I'll pull this down. I'm like, ew. And everybody's like everybody's wondering why I'm like freaking out because this is a book. And then around the end, if you've seen the movie, you know how it ends. And this guy is wearing a bulletproof vest, and they're shooting at him, and I'm yelling in the middle of class, aim for the head! And nobody knows why I'm yelling aim for the head at a book, and like they're gonna listen to me, and they don't think about it until the end, and you're just so annoyed because you're like, you know he's wearing a bulletproof vest, and they don't know, and you're yelling at them, aim for the head, and they can't hear you. Well, that's what happens when you're reading a book. No, but this book is just like the goriest book I have ever read in history of gory books, and I loved it. Like, they describe what it sounds like to have your throat slit or exploded. Like, this one girl, she got like a sickle into her neck, and it says it was a pleasant sound, like the sound of a lemon being sliced. And I'm like, I don't know what to think about that. I know what a lemon sounds like being sliced, and I'm just like, ew. That's disturbing. And then there was another one, when the guy's throat exploded, he said it sounded like the sound of hitting a pillow. So whenever I hit a pillow, I always think of, that must what it sounds like when your throat explodes. I never want my throat to explode, because that would just suck. And it's just nuts. There's eye gouging and finger slicing and poisoning and shooting and dying and bat smashing and hatchet face. Oh, hatchet face. That's when I was eating ravioli when I was reading it. And I'm like, it's like, yeah, I'll read it. I have it marked. Let's see. I'm wasting time. It says half of the blade stuck out from his face, like the top of the top layer of a chocolate on a Christmas cake. Ew. The hatchet had landed on his forehead, nearly split open his left eyeball, and a gooey liquid leaked out with his blood. A pale blue light reflected off the blade in his mouth. Ew. And I'm just like, you know, and it's just, it's nuts. And oh, and then there's a part where he says he rips out the axe out of his face, and it like sprays on his face, and that's just so wrong. But I'm enjoying someone else's pain. Why? I don't know. Maybe because I'm American. I don't know. But this is a really, really kick-ass book. Like, see, here's like the map of the playing field and like the forbidden zones and whatnot. And it's just like, I keep like switching back to one and figuring out like what part is a forbidden zone or not. So, yeah, check this book out. It's freaking awesome. And if you want to watch the movie, if you can handle the movie, go ahead. I couldn't. Like that, and the Suicide Circle was just freaking weird. It was blood and So, I'm running out of time. So, go and enjoy that movie for me, and then tell me if you like it. Enjoy that, okay? So, I'm gonna put this on, because it's freaking awesome. Hit my 3D. I don't know who I look like now. I don't know who I look like, so no, I'm gonna take it off. I have a black one. And put the black one on. I wore this to AX, by the way, not this, the top part. So I wore this to AX. So check that out, and yeah, okay, so I need a better sign-off line. So instead of going, bye, I'm just gonna say, what do you want me to say? I'll say, Janne. Janne.